You know, there's this powerful mental shortcut that we all use every single day, and most of the time, we don't even know we're doing it. It's this silent force that kind of shapes our friendships, our rivalries, pretty much our whole view of the world. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and break down this hidden bias.
Okay, let me ask you this. Picture it. You're out somewhere, maybe at an airport or a coffee shop, and you see a total stranger wearing a jersey for your favorite sports team. What's that feeling you get? It's like this immediate, unspoken connection, right? A little flicker of a shared identity? And just like that, poof, that person isn't just a random stranger anymore. They're on your team, they're part of your tribe. You might give them a little nod or a smile. It's this instant sense of camaraderie, of belonging. And the wildest part? It's all based on a piece of clothing. So this simple little experience, this tale of two shirts, is actually way more than just a funny moment. It's our doorway into a really profound psychological principle that's been steering human behavior for, well, thousands and thousands of years.
So what is actually going on in our brains in that moment? To really get it, we've got to put a name to that powerful feeling and define the core idea that's making it all happen.
And here it is. It's called the in-group/out-group bias. Basically, it's our brain's automatic super-fast filing system for people. It sorts everyone into just two simple folders. People who are like me, that's our in-group, and people who are not like me, the out-group.
And get this bias comes with some pretty powerful default settings. For our in-group, we automatically roll out the welcome mat with trust, empathy, and cooperation. But for the out-group, our brain's default reaction is often a bit of suspicion, competition, and just that general feeling of otherness. It's the mind's basic us versus them playbook.
Now, it's so important to understand that this isn't some kind of moral flaw or about you being a bad person. This bias is a fundamental part of how our minds work. It's a mental shortcut, a heuristic if you want to get technical, that helps us navigate a super complicated social world without our brains totally overheating.
So, we've got the what, but now for the why. I mean, why is this bias so deeply baked into all of us? Well, it turns out the answer is buried deep in our evolutionary past.
Seriously, why would our brains be hardwired to just divide the world so cleanly? It almost seems too simple, doesn't it? But the reason is rooted in the most powerful driver of all, survival.
You got to remember, for early humans, this bias wasn't some minor social quirk. It was a critical survival tool. Sticking together and being able to know in a split second who you could trust was literally a matter of life and death.
And the evolutionary logic is actually pretty straightforward. First, resources were scarce. Food, water, safety, you name it. Second, cooperation was everything. Sticking together was how you survived. Third, you needed a lightning-fast way to tell friend from foe. And finally, you favored your own. Looking out for your group was how you made sure your community and your genes kept going. It was, hands down, a winning strategy. Okay, so let's hit the fast-forward button. Thousands and thousands of years into the future. We're not hunting mammoths anymore, but that ancient software? Oh yeah, it's still running on our modern hardware.
Our whole world has changed in unbelievable ways, but our fundamental brain wiring, not so much. That quick social judgment mechanism is still active, just humming away in the background of our daily lives.
And once you start looking for it, you see it everywhere. In politics, for sure. Sports rivalries, obviously. Those cliques at the office. Even brand loyalty. You know, the whole Apple versus Android war. You see it at the tables in a school cafeteria or in those heated arguments in online fan groups.
This is exactly why identifying as an Apple person or an Android person can feel like such a big deal to some people. That logo on the back of your phone is doing the same job as the sports jersey we talked about. It's a signal. It tells everyone which tribe you belong to.
It also helps explain something a lot more serious. Why political disagreements can feel less like a debate about policy and much more like a personal attack. Our ancient wiring kicks in, tags someone from the other party as part of an outgroup, and suddenly, empathy and understanding get a whole lot harder to find.
So the crucial point here is this. The in-group/out-group bias isn't something we choose to have. It's a deep, instinctive, and totally natural part of our shared human psychology. It's not inherently good or bad, it just is.
And that's really the big takeaway. This was an incredibly useful shortcut that helped our ancestors thrive. But in our interconnected modern world, that same shortcut can create all sorts of unnecessary conflict and division. Just recognizing that this bias exists in all of us is the first and, honestly, the most important step.
So, That leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? If this ancient tendency to divide the world into us and them is hardwired right into our brains, what does that actually mean for how we see the world and for how we treat each other every day?